early in the morning for me. Not really, it's 8 o'clock, 8 but I thought I would come in here for an hour and try to design Zenitsu's hair. So that's the aim of pretty much this next hour. So we're gonna just pop off its head. Sorry if I confused anyone there. So this is the head that we made last night. So I showed everyone how to do this. And then we take off his head just like that. And now this will be sort of my object to help me be able to crochet the hair along the top of here. So we're going to start with yellow yarn, as I have here, because his hair is made of orange and yellow. So we're going to mix those two colors together as we go along and do our best in trying to do that as well. And hopefully we make some progress, because that's what I'd like. Also, happy Friday to everyone. I think this is, for non-US people, it's the 31st, and for US people, it's the 30th today. Okay, so we're going to start with a magic ring and a single crochet stitch right here. And then we'll just crochet 6 single crochet stitches in the magic ring. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Oops, let's get that one right. So 4, 5, and number 6 is right here. So there's number 6, and now we will just pull the yarn like so, and we can easily make a slip stitch in the very next stitch and then a chain 1 to start row 2, especially for the hair, because it's kind of covered, it's not very visible, and so it will just make it easier to do that. So there we go, we've slip stitched and then we just chain 1 there. Now we'll do the second row, which will just be an increase in every single stitch. So here we have the first increase, and again, for those of you who don't know, an increase just means 2 single crochet stitches in 1 stitch. So you can see here I do 1 single crochet stitch, come into the same stitch and do another single crochet stitch right there. And I'll repeat that another 3 times. So here's 1, here is number 2, and then here is number 3. Hey Jency, how are you today? Here's number 3 right there. And then we will finish this one as well with a slip stitch and a chain 1. And that will be our second row. And what we're making the hair of Zenitsu. So that's what we're trying to do. A little there. So here's Zenitsu's body, and then here's his head, and we're trying to make the hair for his head. Hope that makes sense. Okay, so let us continue crocheting. So this is round number 3, and in round number 3 we'll just do a single crochet stitch and an increase. So just a single crochet stitch, and actually I'm kind of tempted at this point, before I start the round, I'm tempted to go into the back loop only, because we may need it later on. So I'm going to try that here. So single crochet stitch and increase. Do you see how I'm going into the back loop here? Because we may need it to make some strands of hair, because Zenitsu's hair is quite thick. So single crochet stitch and then an increase, single crochet stitch and increase, and we'll do that a total of 6 times just to complete that side of things, which is this round. Single crochet, increase, single crochet, increase, coming up, and then we'll just have 1 more single crochet and increase to finish that round. So here we go, single crochet and increase to finish that 3rd round. We're almost getting to the exciting part where we start doing the strands of hair, and I don't know what they're going to look like just yet. We're kind of brainstorming together, if that makes sense. How is everyone today? I hope you guys are all well. Where are you tuning in from as well? I'm here from Australia, specifically the central coast of Australia, so that's in New South Wales, very close to Sydney, actually about an hour away. Now in this 4th row, I'm going to also go in the back loop, and I'm going to do single crochet, single crochet, and then an increase. So we just repeat that pattern, and it's going to be in the back loop. So again, it's one single crochet, then two single crochet stitches, and then the back loop as in the next stitch as an increase. And there we go. And we'll just repeat that a total number of 6 times. So this here is my third time that I'm doing this now. 1, 2, and increase. 1, 2, and an increase. Just like so. So we're doing pretty well. This is how people sort of navigate hair. Not everyone, but this is definitely what I do when I'm designing hair. I'll start off thinking, how thick does the hair need to be? Do I need to go in some back loops to create some extra strands later on top of the very first layer of hair strands? And when I'm looking at Zenitsu, I can see that he has quite thick hair, and the hair is quite layered as well. So that's why I'm making these extra strands here, or I've gone in the back loop so I can see that I can eventually go in the front loops and make some hair strands later on. So the next thing that I'm going to do, and this is where it gets a little bit trickier, is I'm going to be trying to work out. So if I pin this now, which I can, so let me just grab a pin, and this is why pins are so helpful. So if I pin this right on top of the head, and I might just pin it maybe like twice, 2 to 3 times, just so it doesn't pull apart, because you do pull a little bit as you do this. So let's just grab, oh, we got a bit of yarn there. And what I'm going to do, it's not going to stay like this, because I can orient this any way that I want. But I'm trying now to work out how many chains do I want before I get to here, and I also need to change some of those chains to orange as well. So I've got to be a little bit particular how I do this. So let's say I chain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 5, and then what I'm going to see and do, see if I can grab the orange, and I'll just leave it like there. 6, 7, 8. Let's see what it looks like. So if I pull those two so that they look a little bit better, how far does my hair go down? Kind of about there. So I'm tempted just to go one more with the orange. So that would be chain 9 in total. And then I'll start with a slip stitch in the second loop from the hook. So just a regular slip stitch here. Oops, I want to make sure that I get all strands as well. So that's a regular slip stitch. Then I'll have a single crochet stitch. There we go. And then I will do maybe a half double crochet stitch. And at this point, I've got to be really careful. So I've got to pull the yellow yarn. And then I also want to use the yellow yarn to pull, well, actually, let's see, did I pull the orange through yet? Probably not. I just wrapped it. I'm pulling through, and then with the yellow yarn here, you can see it's a little bit loose. So I'm going to try and pull that just a little bit, and then I'm going to weave the yellow yarn through, just like that. Then I'm going to grab those two tails. Hey, crochet lover, which is Keiki, I know you. And we're going to continue with half double crochet, but trying to weave the orange as you do that. And when I say weave, you just place the orange on top of the hook. So here we've got 1 half double crochet stitch, 2 half double crochet stitches, and number 3 is right here. And you want to pull the orange so it's not as visible, just a little bit. And then here is the 4th right there. So there's number 4 half double crochet stitches, and then what I can do at this point is come right into my next stitch. So not here, because technically I've done this very first stitch. Some people, once you've done the slip stitch, you might actually go in here, but there's no need to go in there because you've done that. You've made that strand of hair right there. So instead, I'm going to into the next stitch. I'm going to weave the orange behind it, and then I'm going to make a slip stitch right there, and I'll pull the orange a little bit too. And so now what I want to do is I just pull out this yellow a little bit. You gotta go, okay, have a good day. So here we can see that because I have, so it's quite, actually this is interesting, isn't it? So again, this is what happens when you make hair. So I chain 9, and we came down to here originally, but when we started doing the single crochet, double crochet stuff, we ended up with like the length became shorter, and I don't want it to be this length. I actually want it to be down here. So we might even have to chain something like 11. So again, this is all part of design, guys. So let's do this again, but it's the same techniques. It's all the same techniques. Okay, so let's try this again, and let's chain maybe 11. We could even try and chain 12 just to see what it would look like. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Here's where I'm going to change. So we got 8. Remember, we've got 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we've done basically 8 yellow, 4 orange, and then we go in the second loop from the hook. Hold on, just need to get my placement right. So we did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then we did 1, 2, or we tried to change it. So this is what we might do here. Come in the second loop from the hook, a regular slip stitch, just like that. Then we'll come in the very next loop here and do a single crochet stitch. Now in the very next loop, this is where we had yellow, but we need to pull that yellow a little bit, just a little bit, because we don't want to have that as our loose stitch. So I'm going to pull it a little bit more, and then I'm going to weave the yellow yarn tail through the orange. So with the orange, all I've done is slip stitch, single crochet stitch, and a half double crochet stitch, and at the end of the half double crochet stitch, I weave in the yellow. And that's all we do there. So now I'm coming into the rest of the yellow chain loops, and I weave the orange on top of that. So I've got the orange on top of my hook as I am crocheting half double crochet stitches along the entire length of my hair, or Zenitsu's hair. So we're doing that together. We're doing a really good job, actually. So this is how I do my best trying to change the colors as I go along. Because remember, Zenitsu's hair has a little bit of an orange tip, and you want to maintain that orange tip, but you want to do it in the best way that you know how. So in our case, we have to weave in a lot, and that's what you guys would have to do as well if you were making him. So it's all about those color changes and just knowing where to make those color changes. So there we go, there's the length of the hair. I'll make a quick slip stitch in this second one right here. So a quick slip stitch, pull the orange yarn tail. I'll put this down and let's see the length. That's the perfect length that I want. There you go. Perfect. Okay, so shall we do it again? Let's do it again. So this will be interesting to know for you guys what to do, because this time, well, you'll see it anyway. So what did we do? Let's keep it consistent. We did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now in the 9th, we grab the orange, keep it a good length, and we do 9, 10, 11, and 12. Okay, so there you go. Now we'll just do the slip stitches normal, and you'll see what we do with all this excess yarn in just a moment. We'll do a single crochet stitch right here, and then we'll do a half double crochet stitch coming into the yellow at this point. Pull the yellow strand, pull the orange strand through. I'm going to pull that yellow strand just a little bit more because I don't want it to be super loose, and then I pull the yellow strand through the 3 loops that were left on the hook. Now I've got my yellow strand, and I'm going to continue up all of these hair strands whilst weaving in those orange strands. And that way you limit the amount of orange strands that are left behind, and you don't see them because you're weaving them into the hair. And that's exactly how you continue to change colors, but also make them so that they're not visible. They're not completely invisible either, because I'll just show you in just a moment. You can still see a little bit of the orange coming through, but that's okay, because Zenitsu's hair, you can see part of that anyway, and I think it gives to that gradient effect anyway, so I think it's the perfect thing. But this is honestly probably one of the best ways to learn how to crochet hair. Oops, sorry, I'm just trying to get into this last stitch here, and it's a little bit tight, that's why I'm not getting into it. Okay, come on. So let's do that again. Get into this last stitch. There we go. There we go. And pull that through. And then when you get, I'll just pull the orange a little. And then I'll come into the very next stitch. And then I will just make a regular slip stitch. Just like that. So you can see now we have 2 hair strands with orange tips at the bottom. And this will go along the front of my character, as you can see. Hey there, I crocheted too. Oh, that's awesome, Melissa. You're wonderful. I love that you love crocheting. That's perfect. All right, so let us do the next hair strand here. We'll keep consistent. So what are we doing? We're doing 8 single crochet stitches in yellow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then we change our yarn color to orange. 9, 10, 11, and 12. We come into the second stitch and just make a single crochet stitch, nice and easy. There we go. Then we'll do sorry, I meant slip stitch before. Now we do a single crochet stitch, and here's our half double crochet stitch that we'll just make. Then we go ahead and grab the yellow part, pull it a little bit, so we close that loop as best as possible, and then we weave the yarn through the rest of those 3 loops that were on the hook. And now we can continue along the length of our chain, weaving in the orange tails as we go, as we work our way down the chain. That's what we want to do here. That's the aim of it. That way we get rid of the orange as we go through, and we just make it all about yellow. What colors do you guys enjoy? When I was a kid, I used to love the color yellow because I thought it was like the color that just brightened up every other color. Like I used to work with those connector markers or connector pens. I forgot what you call them at the moment, but like when I was like maybe 5, 6 years old, I draw a line of each color and every color except yellow, and then I just add a little dash of yellow, a yellow line, and it just made all the other colors seem a lot brighter, which is why when I was a kid, I absolutely adored the color yellow. Still do in theory, but that's probably about it. So what's your favorite colors, guys? So I'm coming in here now, and we're just doing a regular slip stitch to finish that strand of hair, as you can see. Oh, I love your emojis. Thank you so much, Rosa. Okay, let us continue. So this is number 3 hair strand. We still have another 3 of these to go, and then we can start changing it up a little bit. Anyway, that's my intention. Because we're doing this together. I haven't made this hair before. So I'm just trying to see what this will work out to look like. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. grab the orange. Just need to grab myself a bit more of that orange because it's getting tangled up a little bit. So that's 8, right? 9, 10, 11, and 12. So first up, we do the wonderful slip stitch that we always start the hair off with because we want to create the illusion of more of a pointed end to the hair. So I'll come in here now. Now I'll just pull this yellow part because we can see it's a little bit loose there. So I'll pull that, and then I will do the end of that half double crochet stitch. And then I will come here and continue with my stitches all the way down the length of the hair. So all the way, 1, 2, 3, and I might just have to straighten up my yarn in after I finish this because it's a little bit, even though it's coming out of the right place, it's just a little bit tangled with the orange, and I'm not enjoying that. So we're just going to continue with these half double crochet stitches all the way down the length of the entire hair strand, just like this. And last one in here, weave the orange yarn tails as you do that because you don't want these yarn tails just being let go. Definitely don't want that. And then I'll come into the very next space, I'll do a little slip stitch, I'll pull the orange. It might make it curl, but that's okay because we will be crocheting that and sewing it on, so you won't have too much of that curl anyway. Okay, let's do that again. Let's do it again. Let's get me some yarn. So first of all, what do? We chain 9 in yellow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So chain, well, technically, sorry, it should be chain 8 in yellow. So chain 8 in yellow. Grab my orange. This is what we're doing next. So grab the orange yarn and then pull it up so you've got exactly the amount you want just to cover that length of the chain there. And then you've got 9, 10, 11, and 12. You always start in the second loop from the hook. So here's where we do our slip stitch. Then in the very next loop, we'll do a single crochet stitch. And in the next one, this is where we start changing it up. We're going into the yellow side. We'll pull the orange through for our half double crochet stitch. I'll then pull the yellow just a little bit so we don't have a big loop here. And then I'll weave the yellow through those 3 orange loops that were on the hook. And now I can continue with my yellow yarn. In the very next stitch, I'll just continue doing half double crochet stitches all the way up the length of the entire chain until I reach the end. And that's exactly what we want to do with this all the way through, except we're just going to change the length of the chain here and there to create the illusion of longer or shorter hair pieces as we continue around the head of Zenitsu. At least that's in my head, in theory, what we're going to be doing. In practice, I have no idea because this is the first time that I am making his hair. So I'm kind of designing this all at the same time. And it's kind of good for you guys to see what it takes as a designer to get this stuff right. It takes a little bit of trial and error, hit and miss, all of those things. Now I don't really want this orange piece of yarn here anymore, so we're not going to try and weave that in, but what we'll do is I'll just grab this part and I'll come in the next stitch here, I'll pull the orange and I'll make a slip stitch like that. I'll put this away because this is the other yarn tail that we had before. We can start cutting that now. There's no point having that lying around. And now we have 5 hair strands. I'm so sorry. Hello. How are you? Lovely to have you here. Okay, let's do this again so we see what we're doing. 1, 2, before we start changing. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now we need our orange. Here it is. Bring it up the entire length of the chain, nice and straight. 8, so this is 9, 10, 11, and 12 right there. Second loop from the hook, we're going to do a single crochet, no, a slip stitch. Then we'll do a single crochet stitch, and then we do a half double crochet stitch in this very portion right here. And before we finish off that half double crochet stitch, we're going to grab the yellow yarn. We're going to pull it just a little bit, because if you can see that loop there, we don't want that tight. So I'm going to pull it a little, and then I'll weave the yellow in. And now at this point, I'm left with an orange yarn tail as well as the previous one that we had. So we need to weave those in as we go along the entire length of the chain. So we'll just continue with half double crochet yellow stitches, and we'll weave in the orange yarn tails as we go. And to weave them in, we just place them on top of the hook as we've entered the hook into the loop, and then just continue as normal. So enter the loop, yarn tails go on top of the hook, and we just pull them through as normal. And that's all. That's really how you interweave two different colors of hair into your, basically into your hair strand, and that's how you change those colors there. So it's just, it doesn't take too much practice to learn how to do this. It can be a little tricky at first, but I think anyone can do this. If you know how to crochet even just a little bit, oh, you can easily do this. It's not a difficulty. I mean, sure, it's obviously more relaxing just doing one color, but this is not difficult. It just takes a little bit of time, effort, and a little bit of practice, which you could practice by doing this exact thing. So it's fine. Okay, so we've made that. There is our number 6 strand. What I'll do now is I'm going to orient my center headpiece so that those 6 strands kind of follow the center of the head. So we'll have 3 on this side and 3 on this side. And that's where now I'll place my pin inside the center of the hair, and a few on the side, just because I don't want it to move so much as I'm crocheting along. And now what I can do is kind of pin these hair strands in place. Maybe I'll start in the middle. I'll just have a look at what he looks like again. I'm just looking up a picture of Zenitsu online. Okay, so his hair is quite centered. There's not really any breaks in his hair. So here, kind of falls like on the top as well, around his eyes. Just a little around the eyes. So I'm going to pin all of that so it still looks like Zenitsu. 1, 2, 3. If I really wanted to do this again, I would probably make slightly shorter hair strands, but you know what? This is more than okay. That's fine. I don't mind that at all. And it kind of gives him like this wavy hair look anyway. So to me, it's kind of perfect. And I can also lift it slightly up so I'm not pulling it as much, just like that. And I'll put this one back a little, just slightly, just like that. You see, I'm just giving a little bit more texture for this character here. And then come here, grab the pins, continue with my hair, and we're looking good. And I can probably continue with his hair like this. And I'll just have to remember to crochet a little bit tighter, because I started off quite tight here and then I started getting a little loose, which is okay. It's not terrible. But anyways, this is how he's looking so far. Good to see you again. I hope you're doing well. Thanks, Anita. Great to see you here as well. So you can see here we've got part of Zenitsu's hair. This will just be the first layer as well. We've got another maybe 1 to 2 layers to do after this, but I just got to get this right as well. So what we might do, since we've done 12 over here, and in the actual pattern I can change this, because if I see that it's a little bit too long, which it is slightly long than I'd really want. We did try and work through that, but it is what it is. So here's like 12. So I might do up to maybe 10 in the future, something like that, and then do 12 on the sides. I'm going to keep 12 on the sides though, just for now. So like for example, I'll have 12 here and 12 here when I get back to it. And then we'll keep doing that. So I might do 12 and then 13. So let's just see how it goes. So I've got here, I'll continue with 12. So we've got, where did I go? Ooh, have I already done the slip stitch? I hope so. I think I did. Let's see if I did. I'm just grabbing the yellow yarn. Boom. I believe I did the slip stitch. Yeah, it looks like it. So here, I'm going to do 1, keep it a little tighter. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then comes my orange yarn. 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12, just like that. So I'll come in here first and I'll do my slip stitch as normal. Then I'll do my single crochet stitch, then a half double crochet stitch, and just before we finish that half double crochet stitch, I will grab the yellow yarn, I'll pull it so I don't have a loose stitch anywhere, and then I'll continue doing half double crochet stitches in yellow all the way up the entire length of hair, except that I'll be weaving in the orange as I work my way up the length of the hair. And that way we hide the orange and it becomes almost invisible, and at least you won't see a yarn tail. I think that's the actual benefit of this. You don't see the yarn tail because you don't want to see yarn tail in hair. And it just gives that nice illusion that we've got yellowy orange as a gradient, and then it fades, it gets to that orange color at the end there, which is perfect. That's exactly what we want. So coming in here as my last stitch, still crocheting with the orange there, and then so we do that. I'm just getting myself some more yarn. Then I'm going to pull the orange a little bit here so that when I come into the next stitch, I grab the yarn and I make just a regular slip stitch like that. Then I can pin that directly down as well to match the other side of the hair. This is number 12 as well. You can see we're looking pretty good. Zenitsu's looking pretty good, I must say. Okay. So at this point, I could, so if I really pulled this down, I could technically go to 13 and 14. So let's do that now. So we've done 12. And now we're going to crochet 13. So this time I'm going to have, now let's see. 12, 13, 14. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll chain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So I'll just chain 9 this time in yellow instead of 8. Pull up the orange, 10, 11, 12, and go all the way up to 13. So that way I keep it consistent. And I've got orange as the same number, it's just I'm changing the number of yellow chains as we continue on, which I think is nice because you want to keep the orange length consistent on all the lengths of hair. So we've done a slip stitch there, then we'll do a single crochet stitch, and now is the portion or part where we do a half double crochet stitch. We grab the yellow, we pull it just a little bit because we don't want it visible too much. We don't want a loose loop on our hair over here. And then we'll just continue with half double crochet yellow stitches whilst weaving in those orange yarn tails as we go along. And that's exactly what we do here. So it's quite fun. You get used to the techniques, of which there are not many. It's it's just crochet, and you just switching up the two different hair strands. So if you've never made hair before for a doll, and let's say you wanted to crochet a friend and maybe they have two different strands or hair colors, then this is exactly the way that you do that. You just weave in the opposite strand as you're working your way down the length of the hair. And that's really a good preview of how to do that for yourselves. So I know that anyone can do this, by the way. Like, absolutely anyone can do this. So I'll come in here and I'll just make a slip stitch to finish off that hair strand, just like that. I can pin that down as well if I wanted to, which we might do over here. So we pin this down a little bit lower, so it's just making more of that effect. And then you can see Zenitsu's hair is looking pretty good. And in the very next one, we might do 14 chains this time. So we've got 13 and now we might have 14. So we're just trying to increase it a little bit so we've got a little bit more of the length. I could also repeat number 13. I'm not sure if I want to do that because if I had 14 here and then 15, I could keep 15 along the, or maybe up to 16 down here. So let's try 14 so far. Because remember, whatever I did to this side, so I've got 6 in the middle here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of 12. And so here I had another 12, then a 13. So I need another 12 here and 13 here. And then 14, 15, 16. I think that's perfect. So let us keep going. So this time we're going to chain 14 in total. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this time I'll only chain 10 in yellow. Bring my orange up. 11, 12, 13, and 14. Always keeping the orange hair length the same. And that's exactly what you want to do. Again, keep the orange hair length the same throughout the entire hair process, because it's the orange that has the orange tips, right? So that's why we want to keep it consistent. You don't want varying lengths too much of the orange, because that would look a little bit strange and uneven, and like the hairdresser did a terrible job. Okay, so coming here now, we'll just continue with the yellow, and we're just making half double crochet stitches up the length of the hair shaft. Boom. So we'll just continue on here. At some point I'm going to be playing, not today, but like I need to get a speaker and start playing music for my live. So that's a little bit more, well, a little bit more you can listen to music. Let's just say that. Music brings a different vibe. I'm actually a person, I used to listen to music a lot when I was a kid. And I play piano, so I definitely listen to a lot of music. And if for those of you who don't know that are here today, I have a piano channel. It's called Kimberly Edwards Piano. And what I used to do is just listen to all of the popular songs at the time and then do my own piano arrangements of them and then post those to YouTube. Yeah, so my point is I used to listen to a lot of music back in the day, but I feel like as time has got on, I don't listen to as much. And I don't know why that is. Like I used to find it like comforting to listen just to maybe like, I don't know if you guys know this person, but Ludovico. He's a piano composer, but he makes some beautiful music. If you like music to just listen to while studying, he has some great music. So there you go. If any of you want to listen to Ludovico, listen to his piano music whilst you're studying. Oh, it's the best. It helps. It helps a lot. Cute. Hey, Eric. Okay, so let us continue. So that's our number 14. Now we'll do number 15. And here, this time we'll chain 11 in yellow. 1, 2. And I'm not trying to make, I want to make these like tight loops, not too loose. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Then I'll grab the orange, 12, 13, 14, and 15. So we're always keeping that orange the same length, as I keep saying almost after every strand of hair, but I think it's good for you guys to remember that. So keep the orange the same, because remember we're just designing here. I don't have a pattern that I'm following. This is the process of designing. You've got to learn it, especially if you want to start making your own stuff. It's all about that troubleshooting. You're never going to get it right always that first time. Like I could even adjust my pattern at this point to doing something a little bit different. So for example, if I thought that my hair is just a little bit too long at the front, I could change all of this to be 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, and then start 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, or something like that. But it just depends. Like sometimes you might change the pattern a little bit based on how your pattern has come out whilst you're designing, because you might not want to change it whilst you are designing. So there's just like little things that you do all the way, which is a great thing to do. Hold on, I want to reverse a couple of these yellow stitches because I didn't weave in the orange very well, and I saw a little bit of some orange strands just kind of poking out at the back, and I was like, we don't want you. Let us get rid of you. So you just got to be careful here that you are weaving in those orange strands. As you can see, I've got them on top of the hook now, which is exactly what I want. Not missing any strands, and I'm making sure the entire strand is on top of the hook so that I am weaving the 2 strands in. And we'll just continue now along the length of my hair follicle and continue with half double crochet stitches in yellow. And that's all we're doing here. It's quite, well, I don't know if you guys would say this is relaxing, but let's say you don't really have much to do for the day and you're in no rush. This could be considered quite relaxing. For me, I'm in a little bit of a rush because actually today I'm taking my 2 little nephews, 3 and 5, to see Mufasa, and I'm very excited about that. Have any of you guys seen Mufasa? I know people have told me to go and hurry up and see which I should definitely do. I just want to wait till it's out of the cinemas so then I can watch it. But yeah, there's definitely some good movies on at the moment. I'm actually currently binge watching, what's it called? Big Bang Theory, because I've watched all of Sheldon. So I was like, oh, I should try Big Bang Theory. And it's pretty good. I didn't think I'd be into it, but it's good. Alright, I'm just checking and if anyone's messaged in the chat, which we don't have at the moment, which is more than fine, although I do like when we have interactive chats, although I should probably do something to make it a bit more interactive. But sometimes I find it's a bit of a hit and miss in that chat. Like sometimes it just depends, I guess, on who's here, because sometimes it's wild, it goes crazy, but it's fun, and then sometimes it's just very silent, like it is a little bit today. Which again, there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, so we've done 15 over here, and I might just pull it down a little bit more because we can start stretching it a bit as well. We don't always need that flick of the orange at the end. And then in the next one I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be chaining 16. So that's exactly what I can do here. Just want to see how far it goes, because if I pulled this down, it will go to there. So maybe I'll do 16, and I could possibly do 17 as well. I'm not sure, but we'll see. I'm just going to cut. Can you see this yarn tail over here? I'm going to cut it because I'm going to keep it underneath. We don't need this one anymore. So that's the reason there. Now, at this point, I'm going to continue. But this time I'm going to chain a total of 16. So yellow will have 12 single crochet, not single crochet, just chains. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12, and then we'll grab the orange and finish with another 4. 13, 14, 15, 16. There we go. So now we do the slip stitch in orange, then the single crochet stitch in orange, then the half double crochet stitch in orange, except with this one, we are going to grab the yellow. We're getting a little bit tangled up here. So grab the yellow, I'll pull it a little bit so that this loop right here gets a little bit shorter because we don't want that too long. And there we'll finish and complete that half double crochet stitch with the yellow. Now I've got to bring my orange yarn tail up and start weaving this at the same time. And I'll just continue my way up the hair with half double crochet stitches. So these are half double crochet stitches for those of you who don't know. So all we do is we wrap the yarn once, we go and insert the hook into the loop, pull out, we've got 3 loops on the hook, and we pull the yarn through all 3 loops on the hook. That's what a half double crochet is. So again, half double crochet, wrap the yarn, go into the loop, pull the yarn through 3 loops on the hook, and then pull the yarn through all of that. So we'll just keep doing that over and over, almost finish this hair strand, which is nice. Like, we're making a lot of progress with Zenitsu's hair, and I really like it. Like, we're doing such a great job with this designing process. So thank you for coming along and learning how to design with me. And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe. There's so much on this channel, and it's only going to get more and more, and hopefully bigger and bigger. But I'm definitely going to be posting a lot on this channel, all about crochet, a little bit of entertainment stuff, as we continue on. And yeah, it would just be a lot of fun. I'll be doing a lot of different things. So I hope you guys can come with me on that journey. And if you really wanted to learn how to crochet as well, but you just feel like you'll never be able to learn, well, I have a quick beginner course for you. There's like 7 videos so far, and I'll keep adding to them. But I start you off even just learning how to crochet with how to hold a hook and how to hold the yarn. So just things like that. You'll really, really enjoy it. At least I hope you enjoy it. Okay, so this is our number 16. And I'm a little bit, it's either I can go to 17 or I can leave it as is. So I'm just trying to work out, what do I want? What do I want here? Do I want to leave it as 16? I'm going to check his hair to see what it looks like on the computer. It is quite long, you know. It does get a little bit long towards the back here. I don't want it too long either, but perhaps I'm tempted to go to 17. So why don't I do that? I will go and do 17 chains. So that means I'm going to have to chain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, then 13, and this is where I grab the orange, and I'll say 14, 15, 16, 17, just like that. So now we have a total of 17, and we're pretty good here, you know, like we're doing an excellent job. I am learning about the length of the hair as I'm crocheting along, just so I can see. And this is why it's really, really good to pin your project as well, as in pin the hair as you make each strand, so that you're not just guessing your way throughout and then realizing it's all the wrong length. Like, you want to make sure that you get that right length and you're following what the image looks like. And you can do this when you're designing your own, like, people, friends, family. Like, you grab their hair colors and you just learn, you know, what works, what's the length of their hair. You'll start chaining and you'll do little things here. All I did in the center, by the way, is just 6, 12, 18, 24. And so I'll end up with 24 strands around here, but I've gone into the back loops of some of these so that I can add an extra layer. You don't always need to add an extra layer, by the way. just it depends how thick or thin the hair is. You don't always have to do half double crochet stitches like I'm doing here. You can also have single crochet stitches, which would just make this less thick in terms of the length from here to here. And you might do that for thinner hair. Yeah, although when I do single crochet stitches, I notice that for after every fifth strand, I need to do a half double crochet layer just so the hair can fit around the entire length of the head. So that's just something I noticed. So if anyone is interested to know that, if you've got thin hair and you need to do single crochet stitches up your hair strand, then all you need to do is for every sixth strand, you change that into half double crochet. You no longer do the single crochet. So that's just something I've noticed as well. So it's just a little bit of those things that you plan for, you adjust for, and you learn along the way whilst you're doing it. So yeah, that's why crochet is a great art, because you learn. And if you don't want to design, that is more than okay too. That's why people write patterns for you guys. So they'll put in the hard hours for the design process, and then they'll write the pattern for you guys. And sometimes those patterns are free, and sometimes they cost a little bit of money, but it is what it is, and it helps those designers continue to design for you. And I am one of those designers, so I appreciate anyone that purchases any of my patterns. And then for other things, I put them as free tutorials on this YouTube channel. So we're all helping each other here. Okay, I'll probably end up going in the next 15 or so minutes, but we can do more of these hair strands because look, we're almost finished the entire first layer. And do you see how it starts off here and then it moves slowly down the line, and that's exactly what we want. So it's slowly down the line, and now we've got to do the opposite coming back up. So that's why it's important for me as well to sort of count what I'm doing. So for example, I want to know how many 17s I'm doing, right? Because we have 16, 15, 14, 13, 12. So here's a 12, then we've got a 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So technically I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more strands of 17. 7 more strands of 17. Now the only thing that I might do here is I'm going to switch up maybe 1 or 2 of my strands at this point. So I've done 1 17 here. Am I in the middle? Not quite yet. So I might do 1 more 17 or hold on, I'm just trying to think. Because these are quite thick and I'm going to have so much overlap, which I don't want. So I've got to do some, this is actually really good planning here. So I've got to do some single crochet stitches. So let me just plan this again. How many? So I said 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. And I've got 17 already there. I'm about to do another one. So 17, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So I've got 7 more 7s and total of 8. If I did 2 and 2 and then 4 single crochet, so I could switch up every second one here with single crochet, and I'm going to do exactly that. So let's do that now. 1, 2, that probably made no sense to you guys, and I apologize, but this is just how I designed. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and then 13. So 13 chains in yellow. So that's 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. And this time we are not doing any half double crochet stitches. So we'll start off with just a regular slip stitch as normal. Then we'll do a single crochet stitch, and then we continue with single crochet stitches. Pull the yellow a little. Pull it here. Why is this a little tangled? It's okay. So we come here, we've got single crochet stitch. We'll do the rest of them as single crochet stitches. It ends up a little bit curlier, but that's okay because we're going to pull the hair strand down to the bottom and then we'll end up sewing that anyway. So it's going to end up straight. But the thing is, if you guys ever wanted to make curly hair, especially for a girl, use single crochet stitches. Now, if you've got a girl's hair and it's very straight but also thick, then I would suggest doing a mix of half double crochet and single crochet stitch strands, but then also straightening the hair with a hair straightener or maybe an iron or something like that, because naturally yarn will curve. It's just very natural. So you can already see right here how it's starting to curl. Um, with half double crochet stitches, it doesn't curl as much, which is good. So if you wanted something that's more wavy, you'd probably do a lot more half double crochet stitches. But if you want something that's very curly, then you need to do single crochet stitches because it's just a natural thing in the yarn where it's twisted anyway. So you can see, even if you look through here, this here is very twisted, and so it naturally just curls as hair. And for boys' hair, usually because it's shorter, you can get away with it because you can just pin the hair like you do here and it will end up being straight anyway. But for girls' hair, which is normally longer, if it's dead straight and long hair, you most likely will need to straighten that hair. Or something else that's called blocking. Although blocking takes a little bit more time because you have to wait for things to dry and stuff like that. Blocking, by the way, is just a technique where you dunk all of the yarn in water a few times. You'll do that, and then you'll rinse it, not fully, and then you'll lay it out on a piece of cardboard or foam, pin it, and let it air dry. And that is called blocking. And once it's dry, it will just end up being very straight. Very straight, naturally. Well, not naturally, but you know what I mean, after the process. Then it will be. Okay, there we go. Hope you guys are learning stuff as we're doing this. What's your favorite character? Guys, if you wanted a character for me to crochet, I'm trying to get like a poll going and see what character wins, and then I'll crochet the character. So I've got a few short videos out, and they're my latest two. So if you go and comment what character you want me to crochet, then I'll be able to see it, and the one that gets the most votes, I will most likely do, which will be very fun. I think it's a good little thing I can start doing. So you guys can get to see the characters you love, the most voted, and then yeah. Okay, so I'm just pinning that so it's a little bit more straight. So you can see we're coming down the length of his hair now. And he's looking great. He really is looking very good. Say hi in the chat, guys, if you're here. I'd love to get to know you guys. So we're going to chain 17 again. And this time we're going to continue with those half double crochet stitches. So don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. This is a wonderful channel. We're getting bigger as well. So be sure to check all our videos out and see things that you like. Learn how to crochet with me and just enjoy. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Grab my orange because this is where I need to change it. And then 14, 15, 16, 17. So the maximum you probably realized is 17 chains in the strand. 17 chains in the strand. And we're going back to now our original half double crochet, which is fine because then the next one we're going to have single again. And it's only for these chains that have 17 where I'm doing the alternating between half double crochet and single crochet strands. I hope that helps you guys. Oops, we don't want you to go there because that's the same stitches we had before. So here we're doing half double crochet now, all the way up the entire length of Zenitsu's hair. It's going to be fun because once I'm finished Zenitsu, and we'll probably create his sword as well at some point, then I would have completed Tanjiro, or Tanjiro, however you pronounce his name. I've actually never watched Demon Slayer, so I'm not sure. Then Zenitsu, and then the one, oh, what's her name? The one with the green mouthpiece. Whatever her name is, and then I'll create one more character, which will be the other girl with greenish hair. So I'll do her, because I know someone asked me to do that. And then that will be the completion of my Demon Slayer characters, of which there'll be 4 big ones, and then I think a total of 4 or so mini ones. And the mini ones are on this YouTube channel, so you can make the mini ones if you're into Demon Slayer, because I teach you how to do it. So I'm sure you will love that. Boom. There we go. Done that one. Now we're up to our next strand here. We're doing so well, guys. You guys are such good support system as well, just by watching. Be good for you to comment too. Don't forget to write in the chat, guys. I'm surprised you're all so quiet. I think this is one of the quietest chats we've had in a long time. You guys can chat. Get to know me. Ask me questions if you want. Okay. So, just pulling up the yarn a little bit more. Oh, we want some of that yellow. We don't want to get too tangled over here. I wish you could see over here. I've got like tangled pieces, tangled yarn strands. Okay, I'm going to mix again. So this time it's going to be a single crochet. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and then we switch to orange. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Now we come in here, we'll do a slip stitch, just like that. Then we'll do a single crochet stitch, just like that. And now we'll just continue with our single crochet stitch, changing now to yellow, weaving in the orange behind. Oh, before I do that, I've got to grab the orange, don't I? So that I've got that loop on the hook. So there's the 2 loops on the hook now for my single crochet. And now I'll grab the yellow yarn and weave that through. And that's all that is. That's how you change the color. Nice and easy. You do get used to it over time. So this is the second time now that I'm doing single crochet stitches up the entire length of the hair. And I need to do single crochet stitches a total of 4 times, but it's interchanged between the every other strand. So one strand will be half double crochet, the other one will be single crochet. And this is the second every other strand, if that makes sense. Coming over here now, we're going to continue to do single crochet stitch. We're almost finished this strand, which is good. I am getting a little tangled, as I mentioned before. I should sit down and untangle it, but I'm also like I'm getting excited to kind of finish my hair. Although I do have a few other things to do. I'm not going to be able to finish this before I have to go and pick up my nephews, but we'll get there. At least you guys are getting a sample of what it looks like to design, and then also how to create hair. So I think it's perfect for everyone here. So I'm going to pin this one down too. You can see this does take quite a little while, But that's why it's nice to. What are you working on today? Hey, Crafting with Amy. We are doing Zenitsu. So we're making Zenitsu, which is a demon slayer character. So technically, here's his body. If I just insert this here, we've got the character Zenitsu, and we're just making his hair. And I still have these strands to go around and adds a little bit of an extra layer because his hair is quite thick. But yeah, this is what it's going to be. I have to add the arms down here. I'm going to add these white little triangles on his little cape jacket. And yeah, we're getting through it slowly but surely. So that is Zenitsu, the demon slayer character. And I will have to go very soon as well. Oh, thank you so much, Crafting with Amy. You're awesome. I really appreciate the sub. Thank you so much. Okay, so let's just do maybe two more strands and then we'll probably end it here because I do have to, like I said, I gotta pick up my nephews and take them to the movies. So here's one, here's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 in yellow. So 13 chains in yellow. Now let's change to orange. Coming here, keeping it nice and straight. So 13, this will be number 14, 15, 16, and 17. There we go. Okay, so this time we're doing our half double crochet stitches, but we do it after our normal slip stitch to begin. Then our normal single crochet stitch straight after, and this is the point now where we do a half double crochet stitch. So half double crochet, pull the loop until you get 3 loops on the hook, but now we need to change colors and we change it to yellow. So we now thread the yarn through just like that. There we go. So now we're up to the yellow color and we continue with our half double crochet stitches all the way up the length of the chain, as you can see, except we weave in the orange yarn tails as we continue doing that. So orange yarn tails going through, orange yarn tail always weaved through, as you can see, half double crochet stitches all the way up. Take it nice and slow. You guys don't need to rush this process. And again, it's all about design and it's all about how you decide to plan your hair. Now, of course, if you ever wanted to make this, I'll have the pattern available once I complete this and write the pattern, which should be in the next couple of days, and then you can purchase a pattern and create your characters yourself with no issue at all, no where you don't have to design and spend hours in the designing portion of it. This is why you do have crochet designers. They can help create the patterns for you guys where you can just go and crochet. And if you don't know how to crochet as well, on this channel I teach you how to crochet. You'll see a playlist that is crochet for beginners and you'll see how to crochet. So I teach you how to do that. And then also on this channel we have many tutorials of different characters and designs that I hope you do love. So the free ones I will post on this channel always. And then the other ones, go check out my Etsy if you haven't already. It's just mnashthreads, mnashthreads.etsy.com. That's my username here anyway, so mnashthreads. And you can also follow me on Instagram if you haven't already too. Same thing, mnashthreads.etsy.com. Alright, so if you have a look at this, we've done so well, guys. I'll probably leave him here and complete this in another live just to complete his hair, and I want to show you how to get around here as well. But you can see we don't have many to go, which is really good. And yeah, he's looking great. So this is Zenitsu. I will add a few more hair layers once we get into these 2 rounds. So we've got another 2 rounds to go, which I might skip every couple of stitches there, just so it's not too thick. And then yeah, that's it. Oh, thank you so much, Amy. You are awesome. I really hope you guys enjoyed that. We've been here for an hour and a little bit. So yeah, it's time for me to go, but we have lots on this channel. The recent live that we made these cinnamon earrings. As you can see, I think I did this yesterday or the day before. I can't remember which one. Bye, Amy. And yeah, it was it was a lot of fun. So I'll make a tutorial of that as well. Anyways, love you guys. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you next time, which will probably be tomorrow. So enjoy your day, enjoy your evening, and yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. See you guys.